Leo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late November 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Leo collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My God, Spirit Team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Leos in late November? We're in Saggy season, one of our fellow fire signs. What's happening with my good friends? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. Let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the lovely Leo collective. What's happening? Talk to me, my guys. What's going on with my good friends? What's the vibe? Here we go. Thank you. Okay. Been seeing this for a lot of the fire signs in recent weeks. There's this really dreamy type of energy for whatever reason. So whether it's you needing to calm down, take a rest and relax, this is an energy that is very much in its own head. So remember, this doesn't have to be yours. It could be someone important you're connected to. But when I see this card, it's very similar to the Four of Cups to me. And we'll get much more detail on that in a moment. Before we do, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the November subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So we see this lovely lady. She's sitting under an umbrella. The background is multicolored. It's beautiful. It's etheric. There's like bubbles going through the sky. And it looks like she's writing in a book or a journal. So for some Leos out there, if you're going through something heavy, I mean, maybe the written word will help you. Maybe getting those feelings and those emotions out by writing things down could be very important. For some Leos, you might be having interesting dreams, really vivid ones. So you might want to jot those down as well, especially if it's something that's a little different than what you normally think of. But to me, when I see this card, either one, it's very imaginative and daydreaming, or two, it's somebody up in their head. That's a big thing with this card. So just know you might have a little more mental energy going through you. And when that's the case, I always say, some sort of creative activity, getting that energy out. You need some sort of release valve here. So not sure what it is that might be on your mind, but when this card is here, there's like a really strong focus on it. And again, it could be somebody else you're connected to, a little overthinking, something plaguing the mind. But we're just going to leave it at that for now. Now's a great time for any creative project, but we'll leave it at that. Let's see what tarot has. And yeah, I always say the first card here doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for you, my friends. What do we got for the Leos, please, my guides, in late November? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Now, before we talk about that, I just want to mention that for like the last month, I've been seeing the energy of other people in your readings more so than yours. So for a lot of Leos, I've been saying like that magnetism that a lot of you have could be pulling a lot of people towards you, or your energy could be being affected in a lot of different ways by a lot of different people. But last week's reading was titled A Serious Talk. And to me, that always felt like, all right, there's something that needs to be addressed, whether you feel that or whether somebody else does. And that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks. So keep that in mind. But let's see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it is for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to, right? Let's get 3 cards. What do we got for Leo, please? Late November. Thank you. Okay, little guarded type of energy there with the Wounded Warrior. A little jammed up energy to start. Now, for those of you that watch me regularly, you know that in the first position, I usually like an energy that's moving. But let's see. Let's get a couple more. I don't want to make a full prognosis on it just yet. Very skeptical. Okay. 2 of Swords. It could be that little mental energy showing up here, but that's also a card of mystery, the unknown, the unexpected. Let's get one more. Some of you might have your guard up for one reason or another, and that might be a good thing. I don't know why I'm saying that already. Okay, yeah, and that might be a good thing. So we have a beautiful card here on the end. Interesting stuff, the way the energy is playing itself out. Because with these first 2 cards, I was thinking like, okay, it might be one of those readings. but there is a good possible end result here. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, as I'm sure you can see, I always look at the elements first because they're very important with how the energy moves. 2 fire cards, which, hey, as a fire sign myself, we are very comfy, cozy when there's a lot of wands. This is an energy we could roll with, but there's this air right here in the center, which is like a spark plug. And I always say when you mix fire and air, it's explosive. Now, that could be good for seeing results, moving forward, seeing some action. But there's a little bit of volatility there, right? Like the explosive energy, I don't know which way it's going to go. Is it going to go left? Is it going to go right? Especially with this unexpected card in the center. But yeah, I like this good result here on the back end because it's like we're closed off, being very cautious, but this is good. So let's go through piece by piece, really start to build this out. Position number 1, we're starting here with the 9 of Wands. And this card is nicknamed by a lot of readers as the Wounded Warrior. And I'm sure you could tell why. This person, they have a bandage on their head. They have a wall that's built here. I say this is a huge card of somebody that's on guard. Very skeptical. It's a card of someone that's been through a lot of things and they don't want to go through it again. So they're being very diligent. They're on their toes. Okay. In its most positive sense, it could be caution for the right reasons or caution for a good reason. So when I see this, like, yeah, there could be some warnings that we see when we clarify it. This isn't a movable energy normally, right? Like it can represent a situation or a problem because it's a barrier. It's literally a wall. In its worst case scenario, it could represent communication, whether it's someone you're not talking to, someone that's not easy to talk to, someone who's unwilling to speak. But to me, there's a certain caution here that either somebody's having or might need to have. It really depends on what shows up. But again, it's not permanent. That's one thing I always like to stress with this card. Now, moving to the center, we have the 2 of Swords. This is a card that does invoke a lot of mystery, just with how it looks, right? You see the symbolism there is we have this individual, they're blindfolded, they're hoodwinked. I don't want to say they're bamboozled, but they obviously can't see what's going on around them. There's the night sky, there's a moon up in this card as well. So classically, this card can represent indecision, confusion, someone that's at a crossroads. They don't really know what to do. How should I handle this? So whatever situation or problem this might be in the front end, it's like, all right, I'm a little stumped. I don't know how I'm going to figure this one out. Like it's kind of giving me that vibe here. But in another sense, it could just represent mystery. Like I said, it doesn't always have to be confusion or someone who's caught between a rock and a hard place. Sometimes this card could literally just represent something you don't see. Okay, in its most optimistic mindset. Another thing with this card is it's not really, it's not a final result as well. Like when this card shows up, something will come to you. The resolution of something will come to you. The energy will free up, whatever this might be here in the beginning. And we kind of see that on the back end as well when we get to the 6 of Wands. So let's tuck that hoodwinked person right there back in the middle and talk about the last card in your spread, which is a beautiful card, and it's a card that does link to you, believe it or not. We have the 6 of Wands, one of the cards of complete and total victory, wins. You see this person, they're marching in a parade, they have their laurels, and they're getting the respect that's due to them. So when I see this, I'm like, okay, something's going to go your way. Something's going to bounce your way, or you're going to get the result that you're wanting. In the classical sense, this card could represent, like I've been saying, I've been seeing a lot of Leos and their magnetism. This is a card of gaining attention, even if you're not trying to do it. Recognition, kudos for the things that you've done. So I feel like this is a beautiful energy most of the time. Now, when it gets to the challenge, sure, sometimes it could represent somebody that's a little overconfident. Not saying that's you. It could represent the ego. So if you deal with somebody that's a little egotistical, very full of themselves, this card could represent them. But I'm not going to turn a positive into a challenge, just with the way the energy flows. So as I'm sure you could see, we go from this possible problem or situation, something goes down, and then boom, the outcome is right. Okay, and then with the mixture of the fire and air, we got a nice little mix of stuff happening here, Leo. So we're going to put that right by the Celestite. I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for the lovely Leo. See what's happening. Guides, talk to me. What do we got for Leo here? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that 9 of Wands. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Leo, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, 9 of Wands. What's happening? What is it here? Yep. Oh, okay. Someone is definitely on high alert. We have the devil in the upright. Now, I can say this for some Leos, watch out in this time for anything that may seem like I don't want to say it's impossible to resolve, but this feels like a thorn in the side to me. That's for sure. When I see the devil here, very planted with the 9 of Wands, very, very planted. So some Leos out there, there could be situations I don't want to put that energy out there that it might seem like, I don't know how I'm going to overcome this energy might be a little too far gone. It's like giving me that kind of vibe. I don't think that's the case though, especially with how it moves forward. But again, aside from that, I do feel like this can be something that is quite problematic. Now, if that's not the case, if you're cool, if everything's fine, everything's good, whatever it is you're dealing with, whether it's interpersonal connections, whether it is work, career related stuff, I do think a cautious approach is best. Okay. When I see the 9 of Wands and the devil, either it is someone that is very much on edge or they need to be. We'll see how the rest of the reading goes. I'm not trying to make anybody nervous here, but this person is literally on the lookout for this. So it's like we have some problematic energy here in the front, and I can't wait to see how it moves going forward. But the devil, Capricorn energy. So if you're connected to Capricorn, it could be their energy a little bit stubborn there here in the front. But aside from that, when we see the devil, there's a whole laundry list of things that this could represent. So I'll just run down the list. It could represent short connections. It could represent toxicity. It could represent obsession. So whether it's someone that's a little obsessed with you, it could represent jealousy. It could represent possessiveness. It could represent addictions and habits. So you see what I mean? There is something that's problematic here in the front. But a big thing I always say about the devil is that it's grounded and it's an energy that's tough to move through. Okay, so again, what I'm seeing here in the front, this could be something that is problematic or a problem, or this is someone where they need to take the cautious approach in a situation. So do it that way you will. Let's keep moving forward. Let's keep moving forward. So let's see what that 2 of Swords is here, the mystery. What is happening? Okay, cool, double 2s. Watch out for the repeating numbers, signs, synchronicities in this time, especially with the double 2s balancing out through the center. I feel for a lot of Leos, this is like an aha, eureka type of moment where this could be a breakthrough of some sort. Okay, so right now, this time period that we're currently in, moving into the early stages of Sag season, could be great for any sort of problem resolution. So whether that is in career, whether you're working in a situation that's not going too smooth or something that you don't like, or your connection with someone isn't the best, when I see the 2 of Swords, the unexpected with the 2 of Pentacles, harmony and balance, I feel like for a lot of you, you can make some big breakthroughs. And it could be surprising to you, where it's like either the resolution comes to you in an aha moment, or it's like, okay, well, I wasn't expecting this to get better, but it is. It's like giving me that kind of vibe, like, all right, I'll take it. It's giving, like, I wasn't expecting it to go that way, but I'll take it. So I'm liking the energy we're picking up here in the center. Feels very claimable. For a lot of you, your guides, spirit team, they might be trying to send you signs and synchronicities for sure, because this is a universal energy. It's a karmic energy, but I like it. So again, I feel like for a lot of you, this is a breakthrough of the unexpected or surprising kind. And it's like, okay, now we're making some headway. I'll take it. So I don't know why I keep saying that phrase, but let's keep moving. I feel like that's good. So it's like the energy starts to improve. There's like a very ingrained energy here. Then okay, that's better. Let's see what the 6 of Wands has for us. And we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. So why is that 6 of Wands here, please? Cute. Beautiful. Yeah, another 6 right here on the back end. So you have a lot of repeating numbers here this week, my friends. We got 2s and 6s. Now, the 6 of Swords is a card of coming out of choppy waters into calm. It fits the theme of what we're seeing here within the reading itself. Like, starting from the front, it just gets better and better and improves more and more. The 6 of Swords is the prototypical card of problem resolution, identifying a problem, taking action on it, and making it better. So again, I am seeing a win or a payoff in the end here. It's beautiful stuff. Now, for a portion of you, this card can represent distance, travel. Some of you might be good to take a little time away or a little vacation. But when I see the Six of Wands, Six of Swords, I'm like, okay, now we're rocking, now we're rolling. So again, I feel like this is a win in the end. So again, whatever this problematic situation is or problem is in the front, definitely not permanent with the way I see it. Even if you don't know how it's going to resolve itself, even if you're just on guard, like if your anxiety's up and you're just like, oh, what's coming, what's going on, I don't think it's going to be as bad as you think it is. Okay, I don't want to say to like downplay your feelings, but to me, I feel a much better outcome than you think there will be. That's just how it shows to me. And I feel like this is a very claimable reading for the most part. Let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. I like it for the most part, like I mentioned, but if you kindly look in the box before the shadow, position number 1 is where the energy is quite gunked up. We have the Nine of Wands with the Devil in the upright here. So of course, this could be a problem of some kind, something that you've either been dealing with for a long time, or it's just something that either you're very on guard or nervous about, or somebody else is. Like I said, it's just somebody where it's like, okay, this energy's stuck and there's not much I could do about it. I don't know if there's anything I can do about it. It's giving me that kind of vibe. Moving to the center, double twos, Two of Swords, Two of Pentacles in the upright. Beautiful. So we have double repeating numbers in this week's spread. And I only pull 6 cards, my friends. So to get 2 sets of repeating numbers, pretty huge. So keep your eyes out for stuff like that. To me, this does feel like a surprising or unexpected breakthrough, whether it's an aha moment or something gets better and it's like, okay, I wasn't expecting it, but I'll take it. It's giving me that kind of energy. Onto the back end, it gets better and better. We have the Six of Wands with the Six of Swords in the upright. This does feel like a win in the end, and it is something resolving. So again, I don't feel like anything can't be conquered. I don't feel like anything can't be overcome. This doesn't feel like something, even if it's tough, even if you're going through something difficult or tough right now, it's manageable. It could work through. The energy is not stagnant forever. Okay, so it is something that will improve. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. I like it. Let's see what's in the shadows for you, my friends. So the big name of the game this week is moving forward, right? Like when we look at how the energy goes, it's like we're moving forward. We're not moving backwards, we're moving forward. Let's see what's in the shadows, though. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end, just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They can be a good thing sometimes. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get this shadow card out. What's in the shadows for Leo? Thank you. Nice and quick. Nice and quick. Queen of Pentacles. So I would say she's a pretty neutral shadow card. I mean, unless, of course, you are connected to an earth sign. It might be showing up here. So Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is very similar to the Empress to me. And she has a positive side and she has a challenging side. The challenging side of this card, since it is the shadows, is very similar to this ingrained, immovable type of energy we pick up front. Okay, so again, even if there is something where it's like, I'm not even sure about that, the energy is changeable, even if it seems like it's not, which is a good thing here. The thing I love about the Queen of Pentacles, though, is she is filled with blessings and abundance. So she's kind of like, if you combine all the energy we saw within this week's reading, kind of does represent her, like in a nutshell, where it's like, okay, the energy is grounded, but there's great potential here. So I feel like this is nice. Spirit might want you to just look at the silver lining of something. So yeah, Leo. That's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the November subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar and book one on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the November subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my all-time favorite decks, the Gilded Tarot Royale. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards, which one do you feel is the most misunderstood? And if you're new to tarot completely, which one do you have a little trouble with understanding its meaning? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.